It was a brisk November afternoon in Chicago, and Taylor Swift found herself wandering along Michigan Avenue, lost in thought. Wrapped in a stylish beige trench coat and a cozy red scarf, she navigated the busy street with purpose. The crisp air carried hints of roasted chestnuts, freshly brewed coffee, and even a whiff of spiced cider from a nearby seasonal market. Taylor had just wrapped up a long, intense meeting with her tour management team, during which she had meticulously planned every detail of her upcoming tour. Instead of retreating to the sterile comfort of her hotel via car, she chose to immerse herself in the lively pulse of the city, a city whose vibrant streets held countless stories. As she strolled past Millennium Park, Taylor's attention was caught by an unusual sight near a weathered brick wall. There, tucked away on a worn bench, sat a woman with tired, soulful eyes and clothes that had seen better days. Clutched in her trembling hands was a cardboard sign that read, "Veteran in need, please help." For a moment, the bustling sounds of Chicago, the honking taxis, the distant strains of a saxophone from a street performer, and the murmur of passing conversations, fell away as Taylor's heart tightened with compassion. Compelled to act, Taylor gently approached the woman. "Hi there," she said softly, lowering herself onto the cold pavement beside her. "What's your name?" The woman's eyes widened in surprise as she met Taylor's caring gaze. After a moment of silence, she replied in a voice barely above a whisper, "Teresa. Teresa Hensley." Taylor's expression softened with genuine concern. "It's really nice to meet you, Teresa. May I ask, are you a veteran?" Teresa's eyes shimmered with memories of days gone by. "I served for 12 years in the Army," she confessed. "I was deployed overseas, and I was injured. Things have been so hard since." Her voice wavered as she recounted the loss of the structure and purpose she once found in the military, a world that had given her strength and identity. Sensing the depth of Teresa's pain, Taylor pressed on gently. "What brought you out here today? Do you have somewhere to stay?" Teresa's sigh was almost audible in the chilly air as she spoke. "I lost my apartment months ago. I couldn't keep up with the rent, and without an address, it feels like nobody believes you're worth helping. I've been drifting ever since, trying to find a way back." The vulnerability in Teresa's words resonated deeply with Taylor, who had long believed that every person deserved compassion and a chance to rebuild their life. Without hesitation, Taylor reached into her designer bag and pulled out her phone. "Teresa, stay right here," she said, her tone resolute yet kind. "I'm going to take care of you." She quickly dialed her longtime assistant, Tree Payne, whose calm efficiency was legendary. "Tree, I need you to find the nearest hotel with a vacant room and book it immediately. Also, please arrange for a doctor to come by for a quick checkup. This is important." Tree's voice crackled through the line, affirming that help was on its way within minutes. While waiting, Taylor decided to address Teresa's immediate needs. Scanning the bustling street, she spotted a small food vendor whose cart exuded warmth and the tantalizing aroma of freshly made soup. "Let's get you something warm to eat," Taylor said with a gentle smile. She purchased a steaming bowl of hearty vegetable soup, a freshly prepared sandwich, and a hot cup of tea, then handed them to Teresa. As Teresa's fingers closed around the cup, the warmth seeped into her chilled skin, and for the first time in a long while, hope seemed within reach. As the moment stretched into what felt like a quiet interlude amidst the chaos of the city, Teresa began to share her story in careful fragments. Between tentative sips of tea and subdued conversation, she recounted her days in the Army, a life of camaraderie, discipline, and pride. She spoke of the challenges of reintegrating into civilian life after an injury that not only altered her physical abilities, but also left her grappling with an identity she no longer recognized. "I used to be someone people relied on," Teresa said softly, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "The structure of military life gave me purpose. Now without that, I feel lost in a world that doesn't seem to care." Taylor listened intently, her heart aching with every word. "You are still that resilient, brave person," she assured Teresa, laying a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Sometimes life takes more from us than we can bear, but it doesn't mean you have to face it alone. I promise you, we'll get through this together." Before long, a sleek black SUV pulled up to the curb, a sign that Tree's arrangements were coming through swiftly. A professional driver stepped out, offering a kind smile and opening the door to help Teresa up. "We're taking you somewhere safe," Taylor explained, her eyes meeting Teresa's with a steadfast determination. "I want you to feel cared for, even if just for today." As the SUV sped through the streets, Taylor watched the city transform around them. The skyline of Chicago loomed majestic against the twilight sky, its skyscrapers illuminated in a dazzling display of lights. The driver's quiet professionalism and the subtle hum of the engine provided a calm counterpoint to the emotional intensity of the journey. At the entrance of a luxury hotel, staff members, briefed by Tree, welcomed Teresa with warm smiles and genuine concern. Inside, the hotel was a haven of comfort. A spacious suite awaited her, complete with soft, inviting furnishings, fresh linens, and a radiant warmth that contrasted sharply with the biting cold outside. A hot shower and an array of toiletries awaited to wash away the traces of the day's hardships. Not long after settling in, a compassionate doctor arrived at the suite. The medical professional conducted a thorough checkup, carefully noting Teresa's physical condition and prescribing necessary medications to alleviate her discomfort. The doctor's reassuring manner and detailed advice provided Teresa with a newfound sense of security and care. Meanwhile, Taylor's intervention did not stop at immediate relief. Tree had reached out to Veterans United Support Services, a respected nonprofit dedicated to helping veterans rebuild their lives. Within the hour, a representative named Lisa arrived at the hotel, her presence both professional and deeply empathetic. Sitting beside Teresa in the softly lit living area, Lisa explained, "We're here to help you not just today, but for your future. We'll assist you with finding stable housing, offer job training, and provide ongoing support so that you can reclaim your life and dignity." The promise of continued assistance and community support sparked a flicker of hope in Teresa's eyes. Over the next several days, Teresa's life began to transform. Each morning, she awoke in the safety and comfort of her temporary suite, bathed in the gentle glow of sunrise filtering through the curtains. She attended meetings with representatives from Veterans United, who discussed long-term plans for housing and career support. Taylor's charitable foundation stepped in to cover initial rent and other essential expenses, ensuring that Teresa would not be plunged back into uncertainty. During this time, Taylor made several visits to the hotel. In one particularly poignant encounter, she sat with Teresa over breakfast in the hotel's cozy dining area. As the city stirred to life outside the windows, Teresa shared stories of her past, her proud moments in the Army, the bonds forged with fellow soldiers, and the personal sacrifices that had led her to this moment of vulnerability. Taylor, in turn, recounted her own experiences of feeling isolated despite success, and the power of a simple act of kindness to change the course of one's life. Inspired by her own transformation, Teresa began to rediscover a sense of purpose. With the guidance of Lisa and the resources provided by Veterans United, she joined a support group for veterans in the community. There, she met others who had also endured hardships and were on a journey to rebuild their lives. In sharing their stories, Teresa found strength in solidarity, a feeling of belonging that had long eluded her. Word of Teresa's remarkable turnaround spread quietly through local channels. Community centers and local media began to highlight the profound impact of a chance encounter on Michigan Avenue, and volunteers rallied to support similar causes. Teresa, once defined by despair and isolation, gradually emerged as a beacon of resilience and determination. She took on a modest role as a mentor for fellow veterans, organizing small community events and outreach programs to ensure that no veteran would feel forgotten. Throughout it all, Taylor's influence remained a steady undercurrent in Teresa's recovery. Before Taylor resumed her demanding tour schedule, she met with Teresa one last time in the hotel's serene courtyard, now dusted with early winter snow. With the gentle fall of flakes around them, Teresa's eyes shone with gratitude and renewed purpose. "Miss Swift," she said softly, "you've given me more than shelter or a warm meal. You've given me hope. I promise I will pay it forward and help others find their way, just as you helped me." Taylor smiled, her heart full. "I believe in you, Teresa. Every act of kindness creates a ripple effect. Today, we started a wave that will carry on long after I'm gone." With those words, Taylor left Chicago with her spirit uplifted, knowing that her brief encounter had sparked a lasting change in one life, and perhaps in many others to come. In the months that followed, Teresa not only rebuilt her life but also became a catalyst for community-driven change. She partnered with local organizations to create job training workshops tailored for veterans, organized fundraisers to support affordable housing initiatives, and even spoke at community events about the challenges and triumphs of reintegrating into civilian life. Her story, once marked by quiet despair, became an inspiring testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a living reminder that even the smallest gesture can ignite profound transformation. Thus, on a cold November day in Chicago, a simple act of kindness turned into a beacon of hope. Taylor Swift's spontaneous decision to care for a stranger had set in motion a series of events that not only restored Teresa Hensley's dignity, but also inspired a broader movement of compassion and community support. And as the city continued to buzz with life, its streets forever held the memory of that extraordinary day, when one person's empathy illuminated the darkest of times, proving that every heart has the capacity to change the world.